Hello everybody, hope you're having a fantastic day today. Thank you so much for checking out my video. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Gauss Minigun. I'm going to tell you the plans that I recommend for it and if it's good and my overall opinion. So let's get into it. So to get the Gauss Minigun, you can get it from Crater, but you do have to have your reputation for the Raiders maxed to Ally like I'm showing here. Or, if you get lucky, you can get it from Minerva. I'm going to put a link in the description. It's literally a site called Where is Minerva? And yeah, you can luckily get it from her sometimes. But if you do gain the reputation from the Raiders, which isn't exactly easy, you can come in here and talk to Mortimer, and you can get the plan for the Gauss Minigun and all the Gauss Minigun plans as well. I'm going to be going over the attachments and everything that I bought for it, so just in case you want to go with what I say, and then you don't have to waste your bullion on other stuff. But yeah, you can see it's right here, and it is 750 gold bullion once you have Raider reputation maxed. And again, like I said, I will leave a link in the description. It's literally a site called Where is Minerva? And yeah, she's around a couple days a week, and she has had the plan, and it's probably the easiest way to get it, to be honest. Getting max Raider reputation is easier said than done. Now, when you are crafting the minigun, I do highly recommend you just use 2 modules and get a random 1, 2, or 3 star. I find more often than not, I'll get a 2 or a 3 star. And yeah, using 4 modules, I feel like you'll have worse luck than if you would have 2. If you want to just roll 1 and then re-roll the effects for a guaranteed 3, then that's totally up to you. I just recommend using the 2 at a time. And I wanted to talk about 2, the prime capacitor. It is a little bit more damage per second, but I do highly recommend the Tesla coil capacitor, which I'm going to get into in a bit in the video. Also, just for the fact that ultrasight ammo, especially with the Gauss Minigun, is extremely expensive. Like, you know, if you have 50 Crimson Flux, and the rest of the stuff isn't too bad to get, but you'll run through that ammo extremely quickly. So I would just use the other capacitor, or the other mod, which we're going to get to. This is the Gauss Minigun that I'm going to be using. It's only a 2-star, but it is anti-armor, faster fire rate. There are better Gauss Miniguns in this, but this was the best one that I could roll. But I think it definitely displays, you know, a good average power that this gun can do. These are also the perks that I'm using with this weapon. Of course, you can switch this up to suit your playstyle, but I just wanted to point out too that Demolition Expert does affect the damage of the weapon. So if you are using this gun, especially if you're using it a lot, I highly recommend Demo Expert. It does make a bit of a difference. It's a noticeable difference for sure. Now this is with the prime receiver, like we were talking earlier. And this gun is really good. I have to admit, it's not a bad gun. There's definitely better guns, but this one is definitely above average. It's a pretty good weapon, I have to admit. I'm not a huge fan of the spin up, but when it comes to average mobs or like a behemoth or pretty much everything but endgame bosses, it will pretty much take them out fairly quickly, as you're seeing here. It's very good for Scorch Beasts too, especially if you have the prime capacitor. You can see it'll just light them up. If you have one gun army on, they're not even going to stay in the air for very long. It'll cripple them fairly fast. But just to show against tankier enemies, it doesn't do like an outstanding amount of damage. Like not like a chainsaw does, or an auto axe, or a railway rifle, or an enclave plasma thrower. It's just not on those levels in my opinion. So that's why I do recommend not using the prime capacitor, even though it is a little bit more damage, because I feel like you shouldn't be using it against endgame bosses like this anyway. It's just a total waste of ammo, and that's probably the worst thing about this weapon is just it consumes so much ammo. It really does. Like if I had to recommend another gun that's way easier to get is the Gatling Plasma. It is just as good, it's very similar, and it does the same amount of damage, if not more actually. It's a very powerful gun and a lot easier to get. As you can see here, just lit up a Mirelurk Queen, and it's, gonna light up this behemoth pretty much just as fast as the Gauss Minigun did. And, you can find this weapon on Blood Eagles. You can find the plan for it fairly easy. It's just a lot better than maxing Raider Reputation or waiting for Minerva. Now again, let's talk about the Tesla coil capacitor. Now this is the one I do recommend if you're not going to use the prime capacitor, and I do recommend this over the prime capacitor, because as you can see here, it's just still great for mobs. And that's basically what you probably want to use this gun for, just running around having fun, killing average mobs. Like, you don't want to just solely use this at a queen fight, Earl fight, or even the Titan, because you're just going to waste a lot of ammo, and there's just more efficient ways to kill those enemies in my opinion. But overall, the sound of the gun, the feel of the gun, and just killing average mobs is extremely satisfying with this gun. Just the clicking sound from it. And you can see it pretty much takes out a behemoth here just as fast without the prime receiver. So it's still very good. I feel like the prime receiver is unnecessary on this gun. Here it is just destroying a queen very quick as well, and that's from a good range as well. And that's pretty much it, everybody. That's my opinion of the Gauss Minigun. It's the worst things about it is it's just really hard to get, and it just consumes way too much ammo, and there's just better options. But it is a real fun gun to use, and it is definitely above average is my final conclusion here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate the support on the channel, and looking forward to talking to you on stream and in the comments. Have a wonderful night, everyone.